Try new Bojangles chicken wings and classic barbecue in Buffalo. It's bow time.
Kind of talk about today and how the process has gone here since you've been in Florida.
Yeah, today was a great day. Yesterday was really windy. Today was a little warmer. I mean, it's still windy, but it was a little bit warmer, and I thought our guys really came out. Today's a Thursday is what the message is. They just need to understand that and how they continue to progress off the field here. Meetings, hydration, rest, all those things are really vital for us to run into this Saturday game. Actually on Wednesday, obviously, but that's the mentality now. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's go time. We turned the corner this morning, and now it's locked in.
Has the focus been good from your team?
Yeah, it's been great. I thought they've done a really good job. And there's a lot of things we're, working through, obviously, and trying to build on timing and everything else. And I thought, yesterday was good, today was really good, and now just need one more day tomorrow just to keep it really sharp.
How have you seen them adjust to the temperature and kind of handle that hydration aspect of it?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Obviously, we have a really good support staff on the outside here, and they do a really good job of making sure that we're talking about it all the time, and then they're walking around and just making sure guys are good. Coach Hemp was saying it this morning, is like, lose your breath early and fight through it, right? And do it again, and that's really the name of the game right now, is that they got to understand it's just going to be a little bit different. We've played at the beginning of the season in many games that were a lot warmer than this, so I think that it's just reacclimating to it and being able to go. The good news is the other team's in the same boat, so it's just a matter of us both adjusting and being able to go.
Over the past couple of weeks, have you seen Billy maybe adjust to throw into the first team guys a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Billy was thrown to some of them too. Like, we rotated through at some points, but I thought he's done a really good job. Yeah, and I think that, again, working on that timing and just making sure they're all on the same page, he's been good at it. And again, he's just got to keep sharpening it up, which we got one more day tomorrow to do it.
Have you seen JC kind of, handle getting more attention, getting more snaps, and also, first team for him as well?
Yeah, he's done a good job, and Blake's in there a little bit too. Like, it's going to take everybody, really, and I think that they've all done a really nice job. They can pull the ball down when they need to. There's a little bit of run game involved in it for them as well, so I think they've done a really nice job.
A couple guys coming home, Jordan Taylor, JC as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen a little bit more energy from them?
Oh, definitely. They're excited about it. They're loving being back here, just seeing the palm trees, feeling the weather. They're loving all of it. Yep, and they just keep talking to their buddies about all the different stuff down here, which is cool.
One more thing about Taylor, kind of talk about his progression over the season. I think it was a little bit of adjustment period. Obviously,
yeah.
Down for the team too.
Yeah.
Have you kind of seen him progress into that boundary spot?
Very well. Obviously, he has the speed to run with anybody. He tracks the ball well, and he keeps getting better at that. But ultimately, he's been able to do it the whole time. We just keep saying, nobody's going to run by you, right? So don't be, too far off and give up too many easy ones. You can get stuck on guys pretty quickly because nobody's going to be able to run by you. He's a very fast kid. He's good hips. He does a good job with his eyes. He's just got to make sure that he trusts himself and trusts his speed. Tackling at the very beginning, Charlotte and the next game weren't great, but he's been phenomenal. Probably by game 3 or 4, he really turned over, after the bye week, turned over a new leaf, and he's just a complete player. So it's exciting to watch him play.
I want to ask you about Tanner. What's it like seeing a guy who has stuck it out with JMU, committed to one coach, played for another, and then gone through the transition? What's it like seeing him down here right now, just having this one last go?
It's awesome. And today he was, he'll be our team, a game day captain with Dobbs and with Cole. They'll go out there, and Tanner, as a 6-year guy, will be the only other guy out there. So I know he's proud of his career. He's proud of everything he's done, and he's excited to have one more run at it.
What have you been seeing from the defensive backs just in practice, preparing for a KFL camp and your opponent?
Yeah, they've done a really good job. I think that, we're never going to really match that exact speed and the precision of those routes just because that's their first team and that's what they do, and we're, running through it with our guys. But ultimately, that's going to be the challenge, right? We got to stop the run, and then we just got to figure out how do we match up well, what type of things do we have to do differently in coverage, and we don't want to be stuck in any one thing because they're very, very talented.
Outside of the game, how important is it for you guys to do things like go to the beach together as well as also go and do community service together?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think, to be, stand on the beach with those. We were done for the day. Practice was done. Workouts everything was done, so we had a chance to just now really enjoy each other's company. And I think that you don't get to do that very often. When practice is over, they usually go back to their dorms, go ahead to classes, and then they come back later for meetings. But it always seems to be structured, around that until we go on, meals together and do that, which you do occasionally. Here, you are down here all the time. I went out to the pool with my son Bo and my daughters, and we're walking around. There's our guys, and we're throwing the football with them and just hanging out and relaxing with them. It's very, very vital, I think, and it really, puts the human element back into what we're doing and lets us all understand it's not just about football, but that is ultimately what brought us together.
I was talking to Murdy about this yesterday, but kind of explaining from the beginning of the season where he was helping kind of adjust people to your culture. Now, I asked him about what is it like in hindsight now to look at the people that have bought in for you and ask that same question. What is it like? Have you took a moment at the end of the year being like, wow, I was able to establish a brotherhood and a culture like this all in 1 year.
Yeah, and we're doing these senior speeches now too over the past 2 weeks. So they each get up and talk, and I think to a man, every single one of them talk about just the brotherhood here and how it's different than anywhere they've been. And they're proud of the fact that they're going to stay connected long after their playing days are done. And everyone ends the same conversation with, "I'll do anything for you guys. I'm a phone call away. Let's just make sure we keep in touch." And I think they really mean that. I know that they really mean that. And honestly, obviously I love coaching football, but ultimately it's about the people and these young men that you have a chance to affect in a positive way before they begin their journey on life. I think that's one of the greatest things, and to watch them, understand that and humanize that at that moment when they're giving their final speech to their teammates is something that makes you really, really proud when they do it the right way, which they all have done, and they figured it out the right way. It's something that makes you really, you hope they listen to some of the lessons, and when they get up there and have their chance to speak, it's cool when you understand that they do.
Now that some of your other guys like Jacob and Murray and Spencer are going to be gone, do you feel good about the new generation of your guys and carrying that on forward for next year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the second year is always significantly easier, however many guys are left. And we don't know how many guys will be left, but however many guys are left, is ultimately the thing where it was 3 or 4 guys that were sort of getting our backs, like I talked about before, the meeting after the meeting, right? Now, you're going to have whatever's left on this team, 60, 70, 80 guys or whatever it is left that are getting a chance to spread that message. And I think when that happens, there's strength in numbers, and I think that just even unites it a little further.
When you go through the regular season, you have a travel roster, so not everybody gets to go on the trip. What's it like having the
so
team?
Good. Yeah, it's the greatest. It really is the greatest. I think to see guys that have worked so hard into scout team roles and have worked some of them don't even get a chance to dress on game day because the sideline's limited and the space is limited, our numbers are too high. So they don't even have a chance to do that on game day. Like, what a shame. And I think now for them to all be on this trip together and hanging out in a hotel together and, getting to experience what it's like to take that road trip, but to do it for 4 days, and just see the guys they admire and work so hard for and with, I think is really special.
Yeah, you think the team just kind of appreciates having them out there as well, just having
Absolutely. They go together and they go against each other every single day. And that first team knows that scout team, whatever look they give them will determine our success in that game. So there's a mutual respect between both. Those guys on scout team are trying hard to prove themselves, but they're also knowing that they have to prepare those first team guys. And the first and second team guys are doing the same thing with the scout team. I need you to prepare me, and at the same point, I want you to get better. And we want to just continue to know that there's progressions in everything we do in this program. And once we say it all the time, but what's your role on this team? It's whatever you make of it, right? So there's a lot of guys that started on scout team at the beginning of the year and aren't there anymore and are working their way up and getting meaningful snaps. So that's ultimately, the goal. I know they all appreciate each other, and it's pretty cool to get a chance to do it down here.
Shifting back to Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State was able to run over them in the championship game. You think establishing the run early might be the key to success here?
Yes, absolutely. And it depends on, where are we? Is it raining? What's the turf like? Is it windy? There's a lot that's going to come into play that we're going to have to figure out really quickly. What are the refs allowing, right? What are the refs not allowing in the pass game, in the run game? We have to identify what type of game we're in, and we got to be able to do that really, really quickly. And I think that will be have a whole lot to do with it, is can we run the football? And if we can, then that could open up some other things for us in the pass game.
How much have you seen Billy, JC, and Blake's confidence kind of rise in these last couple of weeks of practice?
Yeah, a lot. And I think that they really do push each other. They know it's them, right? There's no really looking over your shoulder anymore. It's how do we unite? So it's a different thing too, is that when you have a 1 and a 2 and they're fighting for that spot, there's probably a little peeking over your shoulder and just, hoping you have a better day than that guy does. It's irrelevant, who has a good day right now. It's about how do we all figure out how to have good days together. The competition's not even part of the equation right now. It's about how do we uplift and push each other. We're not competing for the job. We're pushing each other because we're all going to get our shot on that field on Wednesday night. How do we make sure that we're prepared? Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.